All right, ladies, we have Psalm 107, 1 through 2. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. For his mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. For whom he has redeemed from the world, or from the hand of the enemy. So I want you to think today as we're rolling. We may get into some sticky spots. So as we get into sticky spots, give thanks, give gratitude for whatever the Lord has kind of brought you through. Because we've all been through trials, we've all been through hard stuff, especially in the past year. Give thanks to God. A lot of times we get gifts and blessings through other people, and sometimes we forget to say thanks to God for those because we're too busy looking at the person that's blessing us when He is blessing us through them. So just try to remember to use your voice to say thank you. Thank you, Father. All right, we're going to sit down. You guys are all seated. I'm going to have you start with your feet. So you're going to just roll like one foot on your roller. I want you to just kind of press into it. Go from your heel to your toes. So when you get to your toes, just kind of bend them back just a little bit. Just kind of stretch your arch of your foot. Often we forget about our feet and our ankles when we're walking and when we have, for me, I end up having knee pain. And a lot of times it's because I'm not having good foot support. And I'm not stretching my calf muscle or like the arches of my feet. Just roll it a couple times and then switch feet. So be mindful to not want to curl your toes under when it gets to the roller. Just kind of let them loose and kind of pull them back just a little bit. Nice job. Just go another roll, and then we're going to move up to our calf muscle. Just kind of position. If you have, I don't know what kind of rollers you guys have. I have ones that have bumps on there, and then there's some that are a little bit smoother. I like to use the sides with the smaller bumps because I just feel that it kind of just digs in just a little bit more. So I want you to think about going from close to your ankle all the way up to like right behind your knee. We're going to get the outsides and the insides as well, so just kind of roll. You get into a sticky spot, I want you to stop and roll side to side, just to kind of work it out just a little bit. You can get more pressure if you want by just bringing your other leg on top, but I don't want you to be in pain. So just because there may be some pain doesn't mean that that's the only way that you know that it's working. Kind of angle your foot outward and then bring it inward too a little bit so you get all sides of your calf muscles. You wear heels, sometimes they can be really tight. If you run or do a lot of walking, sometimes your calf muscles can get really tight too. And find your breath. Sometimes when we're getting into that sticky spot, we tend to hold our breath. Breathe oxygen into those sore muscles, into those tight spaces. We're going to come up a little bit further. We're going to go up to our hamstring here. So again, like right behind the knee, all the way up to, I call it the leg butt. It's where your hamstring meets your glute muscles. find once we switch legs that maybe one leg might be a little bit tighter than the other. And that is completely normal. So don't rush it. Just kind of go nice and slow. Nice job. Go a couple more. And then just set your roller aside. I want you to bend your opposite knee, and you're going to just walk down and flex your foot. So if you need help, sometimes we get a little bit less flexible, you can grab a strap, a tie, you have a resistance band, you can do that too, and just pull your toes back. If you can reach your toes, you can definitely do that with just your hands. I should think about lengthening through your crown, so your top of your head. We're not necessarily bowing down to our leg, we're stretching, kind of having a little bit of a flat back here. So we're engaging that glute and that hamstring just a little bit there. Go ahead and release, kind of shake it out just a little bit. We're going to stretch it one more time here. So walk back down. And just think about going just maybe a little bit further this time. Alright, walk your hands back up. Grab your roller, we're going to roll the other calf muscle. Start from right around your ankle all the way up to your knee there. Again, this one we want to roll, we want to turn our toes inward and the inside part of our calf muscle. And we also want to have our foot go outward and get a little bit towards the outside edge of our muscle. I found sometimes when my muscles get sticky or when my knees start to get achy a little bit more, it's usually when I need to remind myself of all the things that I'm able to do, because then I get stuck in the things that I can't do because my knees may not let me, because it's a little bit harder on those days. And I kind of get blinders on where I'm not able to see and be reminded of all the things that I'm able to do, the things that God still allows me to do. Like when I can't run, I can still walk. I can still move my body. Often we get kind of stuck and think, oh, I can't do what I used to be able to do, so now I'm not going to do anything. Because I can't do anything. When that's not true. God still gives us blessings and still says, hey, sometimes I just need you to slow down. Slow down and rest in me. Nice job. Give me one more good roll. And then we're going to move it up to our hamstring. So the back part of the leg. And again, we're going to get the outer and the inner part of our leg here separately. So just try to get the back part here. See, often, since we were on today, or from Minnesota, we sometimes forget that winter doesn't mean that we We can't move. We can't get outside. It just means that we have to bundle up a little bit more sometimes. And slow down, because it's harder to run when there's ice on the ground. But it's becoming spring, so we're able to get out a little bit more. We're able to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. Nice job. Okay, one more good roll. Set your roller aside. Bend your opposite leg. Walk your hands down. Flex your foot. You should feel a pull from your calf muscle all the way up to your hamstring. If you don't feel it in your hamstring, think about giving yourself a flat back. So don't round, lift up, and lean forward. Sometimes engaging that flat back allows you to feel it a little bit more in your hamstring. And again, if you can't reach your toes, that's okay. You can just grab a band, a tie, a string, a rope, a strap, whatever you got. All right, release it. Now wiggle your toes. Shake it out just a little bit. We're going to do that stretch one more time. So walk down. And again, I want you to think about going just a little bit further this time. Nice job. All right, work it back up. We're going to get into the meaty part of our glutes. So I'm going to have you sit on your roller. You can either have your hands on the ground, you can have your hands on your roller, depending on what kind of roller you have. Whatever you're comfortable with. I want you just to roll back and forth. So kind of from where we went, where your hamstrings meet your glutes, all the way back. Nice and slow, and try not to rush. Up a little bit. We're going to go to the outside of your legs, your IT band. So you lean onto the side, and your IT band goes all the way from your hip all the way down by your knee. So a nice good roll here. And again, you can reduce the pressure by having your foot on the ground, your opposite foot, and even the foot that you're working on the leg that you're working. If you need more pressure, then just put both feet together. Usually we don't need that much pressure, but some people may. Again, if you find that sticky spot, just kind of settle in on it, just roll or rock just a little bit. Another area that sometimes is tight. When we're runners or when we work out a lot. Give me a couple more rolls. I'm going to have you guys switch over to plank here. We're going to go into our favorite pigeon, my favorite. So lift that leg up, bend your knee, and then bring it all the way up to your hands. Just think about that back leg stretching backwards and your shin becoming as parallel as you can to the mat. To make it easier, you just bring your heel closer to your body. You can either stay up like this, you can also fold. So you be you. If you're having knee pain, another way to do this stretch is you can lay down on the ground and you can just cross your knee over your butt. Sometimes with knee pain, it's easier just to keep it bent at 90 degrees and not twist it. So feel free to modify that way. You can also do this seated or standing. Breathe into the stretch. And now you release. And we're going to hit up the other side. Take your roller, again we're going to go from your hip down to right by your knee. Opposite foot to kind of give you stability, to also reduce some of the pressure. Sometimes it can get really tight. Like I said about your hamstrings, one side may be tighter than the other. For me, I usually find that my dominant side is usually my tighter side. So I try to be a little bit more mindful, especially when I'm working out, of keeping my weight even. That tends to help just a little bit. If you find a sticky spot, just kind of settle in there just a little bit. Another big roll. Set your roller aside. We're going to come back to plank. Lift that leg up, bend your knee, bring it up to pigeon. Again, find your gratitude. Is there something that you may have overlooked? Thanking God for the blessing that you may have received this week. Sometimes it's just the mercy of having a stretch day. We're reminding ourselves that sometimes we just need to pull back and trust and rest in Him and know that He's not going to set us back, He's setting us up to do better, to go further. Sometimes it's just the simple things, the little things. A text from a friend when they have no idea what you're going through and you just need them to just say hi so you don't feel alone. Sometimes it's that smile from across the parking lot. Sometimes it's just listening to a song that you hear on the radio. We're gonna get the insides of our thighs this time. So I want us to think about our, like kind of our groin area all the way to kind of our knee. You're kind of gonna look like a frog. So you're just gonna kind of extend it out like this, and you're just gonna roll right here. And then we get to do our taps of our legs. This one I feel this feels funny and looks funny, but it feels good. Again, nice and slow. If you find a sticky spot, just kind of rock a little bit on it. Closer to your groin, you get a little bit into your hip flexors. So just know that those can be tight, especially if you sit a lot for work, if you drive a lot. Alright, can you do one more good roll, and then we're going to switch sides. And again, you just have that kind of frog leg. Just roll up and down the inner thigh. We do sumo squats. This is a great thing to do after those. Nice job. Maybe a couple more good good rolls. And breathe. All right, we're gonna roll onto our tummies. We're gonna get the top parts of our legs. We're gonna do one leg at a time. So we're thinking about the quadriceps. And remember with the quadricep, we have the 4 muscles, so we have kind of the whole little angle here. So again, just like our calf muscle, I want us to kind of roll on the tops, but if you need to get a little bit on the side and the inner side, feel free to do that as well. And again, you're just gonna be in kind of like a plank position here. And put both feet on top of each other just to add added pressure. You may not need to. Again, when you get to that sticky spot, just kind of rock side to side just a little bit. Try to relax the muscle as you're rolling on it. I know it's hard, especially if you're in a plank position. But think about using your non-rolling leg and try to relax that muscle as we massage it. So we heat up the skin, the fascia. Nice job. Another roll, and we're going to stretch through that just a little bit here. So now you set your roller side, non-rolled side up here, 90 degrees. Grab your foot. You can use your roller to help test stability too. I just want you to be on the meaty part of the knee, so not on your kneecap. So you're gonna lean a little bit forward. Your quad stretch here. You can hold your roller, you can hold the floor, you can hold your knee. Whatever is the most comfortable for you. Nice job. This is my non-surgery knee, and I've been having a lot of issues with it this weekend. Haven't been able to even do this stretch very well with you guys each day this week, so this is a good day. I'm giving thanks that my knee is feeling better today. And sometimes rest and stretching helps that. All right, release. We're gonna roll the other quad. So again, just try to relax that muscle as much as you can and just focus on using your non-rolling side to kind of support you. And think about going right from your top of your knee all the way down to your hips, or up to your hips, I should say. Nice job. We're going to get to a sticky spot, just kind of settle in there just a little bit. Give me a couple more good rolls. And then we're going to stretch that one out a little bit. Again, set your roller to the side. Bring that opposite leg up, 90 degrees. Grab your foot, your ankle. Again, lean forward so you're not on your kneecap. You're in that little cushy spot that's right above your kneecap. Again, you can hold your roller, you can come down to the floor, or you can stay up. Nicely done. Alright, release that. We're going to do a little bit with our back. So I don't want you necessarily on your low back, just kind of put it behind you. And you're going to roll like from the middle of your back all the way up to your shoulders. Well, it's so hard to know what you're doing. So why won't you tell it all plain? But you said you'd come back on the third day, and Peter missed it again and again. So maybe the answer surrounds us. Nice job. We don't have eyes to see that you're always good. Always good. Again, try to relax your back as you're rolling. I know it's hard. You want to relax and not bring tension. I want you to move up just a little bit. I want you to just bring the roller to your neck. So your head is just sitting on it. And I want you just to turn your head from side to side.
Please help your child that you're always good.
Take deep breaths in through your nose and open your mouth.
As we try to believe what is not meant to be understood. Just to trust your intentions for us.
Alright, one more. I'm gonna have you put it right to be like right in like under your shoulders. So I want you just to kind of fall back on it. So you're just gonna kind of extend upward. You can have your knees bent. You can have your booty on the ground if you can. You can extend your feet out. Do what's comfortable for you or what's just a little bit uncomfortable. Because sometimes God calls us into the little bit uncomfortable just to test the waters. Allow us to find our trust in Him. This move allows you just to stretch your chest just a little bit. So I want you to think about just stretching, relaxing, and surrender. If there's anything that you just need to give to God today, so that way that you can have rest in Him, do that now.
It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap. It seems like blessings keep falling in my lap.
Take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Kings believe in the kingdom. Chisel me into stone, prayer whistle me into song air. Dying laughing with Krillin saying something about blonde hair. Jesus
slowly come up to
I know I
seated.
talked to his daddy. Say you the man of that house now.
Nice and slow because you did have your head down.
My steps, gave me a
So
sword
come up at your own
and gave
speed, own pace.
I get shortness of breath.
When you're ready, come center.
Don't be mad.
Put your hand or your palms up. Close your eyes. Focus on breathing. Psalm 107, 1 through 2. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. For His mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom He has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Father God, we thank you so much. We thank you for this day. We thank you for allowing us just to trust you and just roll and stretch
with the suicide door.
our weary muscles from the week. Allow us just to step into your truth. Remind us that every blessing comes from you. Allow us just to see your beauty, your love, your mercy in everything. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm feeling shortness of breath, so we go grab a